Joe and Catherine, good morning to you, and that's correct, spot on. It was extremely emotional, in particular for the Rose family, as they were heard openly weeping and gasping as this all played out right in front of them. Meantime, Michael Rosfeld's attorney stressed that his client was just out there doing a job. He claims he was protecting and serving that community. Now, day one of the trial wrapped up with a very large focus on the night Antoine Rose was shot to death. We closely observed Michael Rosfeld's demeanor as this played out. He could be seen shaking his leg non-stop. The first testimony, though, came from the medical examiner's office. They talked about how many times Rose was shot and showed the various points of entry on his body. It became all too graphic for Rose's mother. She burst into tears and had to walk out of the courtroom. A homicide detective who responded to the shooting also took the stand. He said he could not remember exact measurements from the shooting site and the witness's home. Finally, a witness who lived in the neighborhood told jurors Rosfeld had his gun drawn as soon as he got out of his police car. She said Rosfeld began shooting almost immediately as Rose and Hester ran from that car. The defense asked her if she had been drinking and how much that night. She claimed she didn't start drinking, though, until after the shooting happened. The Rose family attorney says regardless of what is talked about in court, they want people to remember that Antoine was a good kid.
They haven't talked about his character or his accomplishments. They haven't talked about his complete lack of criminal record or his AP honors, his political history, his volunteerism.
And back out here live, this is a live look at Forbes Avenue, where you could see Pittsburgh police as well as several other cars lining the street. You can expect a high amount of security as this trial begins at 9 o'clock this morning. Of course, I'll be in the courtroom observing all of it. Back over to you, Joe.
All right, Mike, much more expert analysis later this morning here on Channel 11 Morning News, and you can count on Channel 11 to be your eyes and ears in the courtroom through this entire